Football is a very, very funny old game, isn't it? I told every single Arsenal fan out there a couple of weeks ago. In fact, it may have even been a month ago. After they lost the League Cup final, then they lost the FA Cup against Southampton. I told every Arsenal fan out there, I know it's tough right now, but you need to get behind the team. What an atmosphere the Emirates was today. A team which Fulham are no mugs, by the way. Harry Wilson has been very, very good this season. He's put in some very good performances. And a lot of those Fulham players as well start for a lot of teams. Arsenal go out there today in a situation where they could go 6 points clear and apply real pressure to Manchester City. Now, City have got 4 games in 12 days, and their fans are moaning about it. Their fans are screaming and shouting. Let me remind you, City fans, and look, I have no dog in this fight. I have no horse in this race. Quite frankly, I don't really care too much about the title race right now, and that might surprise a lot of you. All I care about is Tottenham staying in the Premier League and West Ham slipped up today. So hopefully we can do that tomorrow. But it feels like last season, the season before, Man City told Arsenal fans, a lot of their fans told them that you can't make excuses. You can't make excuses for the referees. You can't make excuses for this and excuses for that. Well, Arsenal have played a lot more games than City recently. They've played a Champions League game. Man City haven't. They've played a Premier League game before them. Man City have to deal with these next 4 games. My prediction, if you watch this channel a lot, you would have seen my weekend prediction. I believe Man City will slip up. And I said, as long as Arsenal do their job, and they go out there and they put in a comfortable performance and they score goals. What we saw today was a fluid Arsenal. What we saw today was the first year that Arsenal really challenged under Arteta. You saw wide players making runs, wide players taking players on. Bukayo Saka is doing his best Steph Curry impression and breaking ankles. What you saw today was a fluid Arsenal. An Arsenal that have intent. An Arsenal that want to make a statement. An Arsenal that know if they win today, they go 6 points clear. Not only that, 4 better goal difference. Victor Gyokers, a player that has been heavily slandered all season, like he plays in jeans, isn't good enough, this and that, excuse after excuse after excuse. Trying to... my personal opinion is I feel a lot of people are panicking because, my personal opinion, Arsenal will beat Atletico Tuesday. I think they will beat them, which means by Tuesday 10 p.m, right? By Tuesday 10 p.m, Arsenal could be in the Champions League final. And they're currently 6 points clear. So what are we going to say right now? They've got through their tough period. They lost the League Cup final, granted. They lost away to Manchester City. They lost to Southampton. And now, credit to Mikel Arteta, credit to the Arsenal players, because they've gone out there and they've bounced back. And what they've basically said is, over to you, Man City. Now listen, we're not going to sit here and discredit what City have done. They're an excellent team. They've got world-class players and one of the best managers we will ever see. But to win 4 games in 12 days, including an FA Cup final, you're asking a lot. You really are. Make sure you go down. Smash that like button to pieces. We are, ladies and gents, getting close to hitting the 100,000 mark. If you haven't already and you enjoy the content, we are 6,370 subscribers, to be precise, away from hitting 100k. And 90. This is what I don't understand. If 90% of you watch the content every single day, why don't you just hit that subscribe button? It's free. It's free. Now, Arsenal 3, Fulham 0. Mikel Arteta made a bold decision today. And what he did was, he dropped, I don't like using the word dropped. I want to say he rotated, I think that's a better word. He rotated Martin Odegaard. The first half, Arsenal were fluid. The first 10 minutes was as good a 10 minutes I have seen in an Arsenal game pretty much all season. They were fluid in the first 15 minutes. Gyokers gets his goal and they were 3-0 up at half-time. We'll start with the Fulham lineup. You know, ex-Arsenal player Leno, Castagna, Anderson, Bassi, Robinson, Lukic and Reed. Wilson, who's had an unbelievable season. He's a free transfer, by the way. He would improve pretty much every team in the Premier League and improve their squad. Emil Smith-Rowe, another Arsenal player. I can never pronounce this player's name. Is it Chukwueze? I think it's pronounced. And Jimenez. I want to talk about Victor Gyokers shortly as well. David Raya, Calafiori, Gabriel Saliba, Ben White. Other than Timber, that's their back line for me. Lewis Skelly comes in for Zubimendi, Declan Rice, Trossard, Eze, Saka. And bearing in mind, Saka was taken off at half-time. The criticism this guy has had today comfortably sits down Raul Jimenez. I know Raul Jimenez isn't a fullback, but in the position of a fullback he was in, he got dropped like prime Steph Curry. Now, I want to start by talking about Victor Gyokers. That is the best game in an Arsenal shirt I think he's had. And he's now got 26 goal contributions in an Arsenal shirt. Scored the penalty midweek away at the Metropolitano Stadium in a very, very hostile environment. Gets a goal and an assist today. Again, to put Arsenal 6 points clear. Big goal against Bournemouth. Scored in the FA Cup off the bench against Southampton. Scores a hat-trick in international football against Ukraine. He has scored a lot of big goals this season. 2 goals against us as well, by the way. I think the guy has had a lot of... And bearing in mind, he only played 64 minutes. Bukayo Saka drops Raul Jimenez across the box. In my opinion, Leno has to do better. And it's a tap-in for Victor Gyokers. He puts it in a very, 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 very good position. And Gyokers scores. Now, for me, I think right now that takes a lot of pressure off Arsenal. Now, listen, Fulham are a good side, but ultimately they're not going to get relegated and they're not going to make Europe. So it's kind of like they're kind of playing until the summer, essentially. Then you think, right, you're 1-0 up. What are you going to do now? Arsenal are on the front foot. They're showing a lot of pride, a lot of possession. Bukayo Saka, a guy that has been criticised so much this season. Excellent assist, excellent goal, puts it in the side net, and Leno, absolutely no chance. And then Gyokers, another player who's been heavily criticised recently, Leandro Trossard, floats in across. Gyokers gets his head on the end of it, puts it into the back of the net, and it is 3-0 Arsenal. And when you look at the stats, right, when you look at what Arsenal had to do today, all they had to do was go out there and get the win. But the fact that when you look at the momentum chart, I mean, look at this, by the way. I mean, Fulham had 3 opportunities in the first half and a few opportunities in the second half. When you look at the match stats, 0.4 XG, 46% possession, 10 shots, 1 big chance created, 9 shots on target for Arsenal, 7 big chances created, which I think is their most of any game this season. 5 big chances missed. Bearing in mind, Arsenal weren't their most clinical today, by the way. But they have now applied the pressure. And what they've basically said to Man City is, over to you. You know, they're 6 points clear now. They're 4 goals better off. Man City, as I said, have 4 games in 12 days. Do you honestly believe City are going to beat Everton, Brentford, Palace and Chelsea? And if they do, fair enough, they deserve the Premier League. But all Arsenal can do at this moment is win their games and hope City drop points. I think Bournemouth away is a very tough fixture under the lights. Bournemouth are unbeaten in 15 games. You know, I know they've got a lot of draws, but a draw right now, a draw for Man City is music to every Arsenal fan's ears. And plus they play Crystal Palace. I think Palace will heavily rotate because they've got the Conference League final. But that's only 3 days before an FA Cup final. You know, they've got 6 games in 20 days. That is a lot of football to play. And when you look at the Premier League table right now, it is all about the fact that Arsenal are 6 points clear. Now, granted, listen, if Man City go out there and beat Everton comfortably, fair enough. But Arsenal are doing their job. They've now got more goals for, more wins, less goals conceded, better goal difference, more points. But let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.